It is different because the law in California has changed, and it was changed specifically because of the 1993-94 Michael Jackson investigation. The law in California at that time provided that a child victim could not be forced to testify in a child molest proceedings without their permission and consent and cooperation. As a result of the Michael Jackson case, the legislature changed that law, and that is no longer the law in California.
We are back with an issue special presentation, Cases That Changed America. My fantastic panel is here. We're looking at the Michael Jackson molestation trial, but first I want to turn to a very special guest. I am so delighted to have famous criminal defense attorney Tom Mesereau with me now. Thanks so much, Tom. Tom, of course, was Michael Jackson's lead attorney for the molestation trial. Jackson, of course, found not guilty on all counts. Tom, how do you believe this trial changed or impacted America and American attitudes toward the law?
Well, first of all, you have to remember that this was a very intelligent jury. We had a retired math teacher with a master's degree in math. We had a retired school principal with a master's degree in counseling. We had a civil engineer. We had the head of a local social services agency. And we had people with military backgrounds. So a very intelligent jury acquitted him not 10, 14 times, 10 felonies and 4 lesser included misdemeanors. What that means is this. I think his celebrity status hurt him terribly going into the trial, because you had more media attention directed at this case than any case in history, and most of it was negative. I think as we began to destroy their case and show how ridiculous their witnesses were, I think his celebrity status probably began to help him because he looked like a target. I think it proved that our jury system works, that you can direct a lot of negative attention at a celebrity, throw 70 sheriffs at his home, throw an entire DA's office, at him, throw unlimited resources at a celebrity defendant, and still a jury in a conservative town can be very fair. So it showed our system works in the end.
Well, to me, what struck me was the use of videotape in this case. It all started with the Martin Bashir documentary, then you had the rebuttal documentary, and then there was the most infamous of all, the videotape of the family who accused Jackson, talking about how wonderful he was, praising him to the hilt, saying he was a father figure and an angel. What was the impact of that tape? Because to me, that was the crux of the prosecution's problem.
Well, I think a lot of people misread the impact of these recordings. First of all, a lot of pro-prosecution journalists who don't know anything about how to try a case and how to humanize a defendant were saying the Bashir documentary was going to kill him. When I first looked at it, I said, wait a second, I'm looking at a cute, appealing young kid, a musical sensation and his family. There's intoxicating music. They're showing what a childlike, naive person he is. He denies any sexual contact in his bedroom. I was happy it was going to be played. I didn't reveal that. I also was happy it was going to be played because I thought it would allow us to bring in the edited portions from that tape where he denies all the allegations. So that was the most impactful issue involving videotape. In addition, when the family got on there and rather spontaneously all said he's innocent, he never did anything like this, he's a nice person, it had to hurt their credibility in their case. I know the prosecutors said they were forced to do it, but it didn't look that way, and I think all the videotape in that trial helped us immensely.
Do you feel that prosecutors raided Neverland not knowing that that videotape of the family praising Michael Jackson existed, and then when they went to the videographer's home and found that videotape and saw the whole family that was their witness accusing Michael Jackson of this, had made this tape praising him to the hilt and saying nothing untoward happened, that they were boxed into a corner, and that's why they turned around and created this bizarre conspiracy case that many people said made no sense to justify, oh, they were forced to make that video?
Well, they created the conspiracy case out of whole cloth for a lot of reasons. One, they thought it would dirty up Mr. Jackson even more. Two, under the law, in a conspiracy case, an accuser can bring in what is called co-conspirator hearsay, meaning you can bring in out-of-court statements by other people alleged to be conspirators in the conspiracy. Normally, those statements could not come in, so they did it for that purpose as well. But I think in general, they thought that if they made Mr. Jackson look like an overall criminal, a bad person who would extort kids, imprison a family, do all sorts of nefarious things, it would help them get a conviction, and it backfired.
Were you ever doubtful of victory in this case? when this case started, many people believed it was an open and shut case against Michael Jackson, that they had him. And you walked in there, and I was really impressed by your incredible confidence, and you proceeded to win. Was it ever for show, or did you always believe you're going to win this case?
Well, when I got into the case, close friends of mine were saying, don't take it. It's unwinnable. You know, the rest of your life, anywhere you go in the world, you'll be known as the guy who lost the Jackson case. But that's not the way I conduct my life. And I got into the case, and I looked at the evidence objectively. I got to know the client, and I said to myself, wait a second. You know, a lot of things are wrong with their case. I think they're, you know, I think they're intoxicated by all the media and everybody telling them they can't lose, they being the prosecution. And I thought I could turn that to our advantage. And I'll tell you, I've never had as many good days as a defense attorney in any case as I had in this one.
Tom, we got to leave it right there. But if I'm ever in trouble, I'm calling